Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to the Kamado Joe cooking channel. Today we're going to fire up the Big Joe and we are going to cook a double smoked whole ham. So let's get started. Okay, I've lit up a fire in the firebox on the Big Joe here, and I've got my divide and conquer flexible cooking rack in place, and I've got the accessory rack in the low position because I'm going to put the heat deflectors on and we're going to have them slightly elevated. But before I do that, I'm going to slip in a couple of chunks of applewood for some smoke on this ham. So we're going to get that just like that. I'm going to set both halves of the heat deflector in place. And we're going to let this grill come up to a temperature today of somewhere between 250 and 300, maybe around 275 degrees or so. So in order to do that, I'm going to set the vents. I'm going to set the bottom vent open maybe 2 inches. And I'm going to close the slider all the way on the top vent and close the daisy wheel down just a little bit. And we're going to let this guy come up to temperature. And if I need to increase the temperature, I'll open the daisy wheel, or if I need to decrease it, I'll close it down more. So we're going to let this guy come up to, like I said, somewhere around 275-ish. The first thing I want to do here to get our ham started is I want to make a glaze to rub on this. So I have roughly a 1 cup of light brown sugar, and I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of ground allspice and about 1/4 teaspoon of ground clove, and I'm going to mix this up completely. And at this point we can move on to the star of our show, which is a 16-pound whole ham. And these hams like this are pre-smoked and pre-cooked. So basically all we're going to do is be reheating this. But these hams aren't smoked the same way you and I would normally smoke these hams. These are cooked and then they're typically cold smoked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score the top of this ham with a diamond pattern. And then we are just going to rub on our sugar and spice mixture that we just made. And then we're just going to let this guy sit until our grill comes up to temperature. Okay, we've got our grill almost up to temp. We're up to around 225, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this open, and we're going to set this ham right in the middle. I went ahead and decided to put this on a roasting rack in a roasting pan, and we're going to cook this guy until we get to an internal temperature of about, I'm saying 135 to 140 degrees. But before we get there, we're going to put a glaze on it. So while this is getting to that point, let's go make our glaze. Okay, in a small saucepan, I'm going to empty 1 whole jar of your garden variety orange marmalade. And into that, we are going to add 1/4 cup of dark rum, and I'm going to use 1/4 cup of Grand Marnier, which is an orange liqueur that's really good. So I'm going to heat this up and get this combined completely over low heat. And I'm not going to let this come to a boil, so I'm just going to, like I said, get it good and combined and let it get warm. And then I'm going to put a lid on this, and we're going to set this aside until we're ready to put it on the ham. Okay guys, we've been going here for about an hour and a half, and this thing's looking real good so far. But what we're going to do at this point is I'm going to take about half of that orange marmalade glaze that we made and spread it all over the top of this ham. I'm just going to kind of smear it all over the top, and I'm going to close this back up, and we're going to let it go here for about another hour with this glaze on it, or this half of the glaze, before we come back for the next step. Okay, we've been going for about another hour here, and this thing's looking really fantastic. So we're going to dump the rest of this glaze on and just kind of smear it all over the top, just like we did before. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to pour about 1.5 cups of water into the bottom of this pan, and then I'm going to cover this with foil. So we will be back probably in an hour or so. Okay, we've been going for almost another hour, so I'm going to take the foil back off of this, and we're going to let that sit just like it is there, and let that glaze finish setting up on top, and then this will be just about ready to come off. Okay guys, I believe we're about ready. That thing's looking absolutely amazing there, so I'm going to take this off the grill. We're going to take it in, I'm going to let it cool a bit, and then we're going to slice into it and see what it's got. Okay guys, this ham's ready. I've let it cool a bit, so we're going to slice into it. I'm going to take a couple of little slices right off the end here. Look at that. That looks beautiful. We're going to have a taste. Okay guys, I'm going to take one of that piece right off the end where I get some of that bark that we have. Take a quick taste of this. Man, that's delicious. That's absolutely beautiful. The brown sugar, the spices that we put in there, and the orange really brings a wonderful flavor to the ham. I can't wait to slice the rest of this up. This is going to make great sandwich meat, going to make great meals. You have to give this a try. It's a beautiful opportunity to put something together that's quick and easy and will feed a crowd. So give this a try. Let me know what you think. Join us on Facebook, facebook.com/Kamado Joe. Follow us on Twitter @Kamado Joe. And until next time, this is John Setzler with Kamado Joe Cooking Channel.